Wherever you are today, welcome with me as I share with you how the power of asking questions, can lift you up in life. Yes, so whilst at this, I also want to quickly tell one or two persons that I'm there online. Thank you for joining me. Let me try to quickly share to a few people and let them know I am here. It's looking like there's one technical issue here today now, but don't worry, I'm going to try to manage. Yes. All right. How do we go about asking questions? And I'm sure a few of you may even be asking the question now to say, oh, I don't even like to speak. I don't even like to ask people questions. How do I go about that? Any which way, let me try see. Yes. How to speak to that point of asking question. How do we ask questions that will make us grow us and increase the values that we give, right? So just permit me a little technical hitch, but I'm fine. Okay, what does it mean when we say we're asking questions? I'm jumping in right away because of our time, so that you can join me later, or you can go listen to this later. And please remember to share it. Thank you all those who've joined. Thank you all, and also continue to share that. When we ask questions, is it good to ask questions? What is it about asking questions? I want to put it on the table right away that asking questions can save you, it can deliver you, it can give you all the money you're looking for, the wealth you're looking for, the impact you want to make. Honestly, bulk of it is tied to the skill of asking questions. Asking questions generally. We'll eventually taper it to asking the right questions and the correct questions, okay? But at least the first and foremost, the skill of asking questions. What does it mean to ask questions? When you ask questions, it means you're seeking clarifications. You're seeking, maybe endorsement, clarification. You want direction. You want input. You want feedback. You just want to tap into the other person's head and brain and knowledge and what they know. You want to add up to what you know. You want to clarify. You're seeking direction. You want to take something about your life from one level to another level. And you have realized that there is a glut or a barrier or something that you need to clarify. Let me tell you what, my dear people. It's not every time, Seth, you ask question for knowledge. Can I break that down for you? Sometimes it's what you know, but you ask questions for impact. What does it mean? For influence. What does it mean? To stand out. Sometimes you ask questions. Hello. I'm telling you, there are sometimes you want to stand out in the midst of the crowd. Is what you probably know, but not many people know. And you may ask us a question. It just pulls you out of the crowd. It just stands you out. But you must be careful not to ask stupid, permit me to use that question, to ask questions that are too obvious. And then that makes you look like you are in an entity. No. Right. Okay. So let me break it down further. So when it comes to the issue of asking questions, which we all need to learn to do, there are the four W's. What, why, the how, the when, the whatever, all of those we apply here. So let's take them one after the other. Okay. First will be, what do you want to ask? In what area? Which means you yourself have done some little analysis by yourself. And you notice there's a gap somewhere here. And you're saying, look, there's something I want to clarify. There's an information I need. So there is a what. You need to be very clear what the what is. And the what is premised on what you know. So you can see the gap and say, I know 1, 2, 3, but I'm not sure of this, okay? So your what is important, okay? Remember, I'm discussing with you today the skill of asking questions. The skill of asking questions and the power in asking questions. And remember what I already said to you, that sometimes it's not every time you ask questions because you're seeking knowledge or clarity. Sometimes in certain fora, you can ask questions to just bring you out. To spotlight you, you can ask questions. The reason you just want to be noticed. Hello. In certain fora, you got to stand out. And for you to stand out, you ask questions. There must be questions that are relevant, that are related, that are useful, that are, that will not make you now come out like cheap. That will not give you up. Do you understand? It won't give you out. All right. So let me continue. I was saying the what you want to ask about is very important. You have to be clear what it is. Why do you want? That is your why. Why do you want to ask this question? Is it that you need somebody to clarify something? You need them to admit something? You need them to tell you something? You need to have a why before you ask questions, okay? When is the best time to ask questions? When is the best time? It will depend, isn't it? But I'm sure you know that almost every day we do these things. We ask questions almost every day. Yes, Maureen says yes, so she used it at a LBS program and it worked. Beautiful. That's my sister, my person. Yes. When you just ask the question, even if it means admitting and joining the last speaker to say, I just want to concur to what Maureen just said, that actually my experience was that in 2 minutes you are done. Fine. Everybody notices you. Very important. You gotta use it. You must be, you must do that, okay? So, all right, fine. So we've spoken to what you want to ask, why you want to ask that question, what is needed, when you should ask that question. Yes, thank you, Sandra. Okay, very important. Now, who do you want to ask the question? Who is the person? Who are you attending the question to? Very important to know who. And I will share an experience that happened to me just last week here, all right? Who, you know, to whom do you want to ask the question? And how do you present the question? Thank you, Papa, for joining. How do you present the question? Your how, very important. Because there are ways you can put up a question and it becomes a put off. You become, instead of now looking at the content of the question, the how, your manner, your approach, and the way you phrase the question, then begins to put up a negative against you. That's not what you want to do. So the what, the when, the whom you want to ask, the how you want to ask it, the what, very important in question, in seeking, in using questions, okay? Let's also note this before I share my example, my experience. There are two broad ways, to question answering or asking. Some are impromptu. Impromptu means you didn't think of it, but as you were hearing the person speak to you, converse with you, or listening to the presentation, the question just came up. It was impromptu, it was unplanned. That's fine. Number two is the preconceived question. And we all go through this every day. Preconceived is, you already tell yourself, when I meet Hannah, this is what I want to ask. Let me say this. Please note this. If you are a business owner, before you attend any business meeting, if you are an official, before you attend any official meeting, a board meeting and all of that, review the documents, review the subject matter. And as you review, if possible, try to put 1 or 2 questions in your archive. Store it on your phone somewhere to say, I will try and get clarity on 1 or 2. That's before the event. Get ready. If you're attending any interviews here, hello. Question asking in that interview is very important. If you're going for a chat, with the MD of a company, with the president of a particular company, and you're going for that, review the organization. Keep in mind 1 or 2. Remember, we discussed elevator pitch some time ago. Go and listen to those conversations if you didn't. Still on this Instagram live, okay? There are some questions that are joker questions. When you ask anybody, they are so smart that the person looks at you like, wow, there's something about this person. It just stands you out. It makes you significant. It puts you ahead of other people, okay? So it's very important that we have some preconceived questions in our hearts to ask as much as possible, okay? Thank you, Musun, for joining. All right. So also to note that there are 2 types of questions as well. There are internal questions and external questions. All right. What is internal? Internal means domestically you're dealing with your people at home, for example, or in the office, you're talking to your people in the office. Those are all internal. External now is when you are dealing with somebody you never met or is official, somebody within or without, outside your own establishment and all. That's external question, okay? And question types can be 2 types of questions: open questions or closed questions, okay? Open questions are questions that you ask and whoever is answering you must get into storytelling, must explain something. Closed questions are questions you ask that are purely to get a yes or no. For example, did you go there yesterday? The answer is yes or no. There's no story. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Did you do that? Has that happened? Those are all closed questions. But open questions are questions that when I ask you, you have to tell me some little more. The why questions. Why did you do that? Sumbo, why did you go there? That cannot be a yes or no. That has to be because. That has to be, well, for what reason is that? How did you achieve that? That has to be, you must know when to ask both questions. The usefulness of open and closed questions are not the same. There are places where you ask your open questions. There are places where you ask your closed questions. Closed questions are when you want to close the conversation. You want to clarify. You want to detail it. You want to get it done. You want to confirm whether that thing is true or not. You just ask, is yes or no. It helps you move on fast. Now, but if you need more clarity, more education, more knowledge, you are more inquisitive about the matter, it's an open question you must ask. So how did you achieve that? Open questions are very, if you are a salesperson here, or you run your business, or you want to, you want to be more, you want to grow in career, you must learn learn about open questions. They are very useful. So you're meeting me for the first time, and maybe I'm the president, so and so. You've loved to meet me, and you're meeting me for the first time. Oh, Hannah, wow, Hannah, I'm so glad meeting you today. Whoa, it's an honor to meet you, ma'am. I've loved to meeting somebody like you. Those are all stories. You quickly do that. What are you doing? You are engaging me to get my attention. You are kind of you are, what's the word now? You are connecting. You want to get your connection right, isn't it? Remember, we discussed this some time ago. Go and listen to the 5th or 4th or one of those messages when we're talking about connection, networking. The fact that you need to compliment. Once you compliment, the next thing will be, wow, I've been so enthused about your growth, about your development, or about, your achievements. And I'm just wondering, how are you able to do that? That means you know me. That means you're trying to, you know some little things about me. It might even be my age. Maybe I'm an old person doing some new things. Or maybe I'm a young person. I've achieved so much at age 20, age 30. Whoa! Wow, Isheun, man, you do. I've met you, and I've been longing to ask you, so that's an open, and the person will smile or say, yeah. It will make the person talk. That person is not just going to say yes or no. The person will talk something. And as he's talking, you're picking. Are you with me? You're engaging. The relationship is getting deeper, whether the person knows it or not. Is that okay? All right, fine. Every question you ask, will increase you, to be honest, because you learned something with questions. And I'm going to tell you the benefit of asking questions before I round up very shortly. Even God, they ask questions. So don't be here and you are telling me, Hannah, I'm a quiet person. I don't like to interrogate people. Asking questions is like I'm going to interrogate them. I don't want to question anybody. There are people who come into meetings, they will never ask any question. They will not even agree with the last speaker. I told you before in one of the sessions, that's not you. You cannot be in a meeting and you sat down for 1 hour, 2 hours, nobody heard your voice. Then you are not my person. No. You are not my person at all. If you are my person, your voice must be heard. Come on now. Even if it means to say I support the last speaker. Oh, exactly. Absolutely. And please don't say those things and chorus with every other person. No. They hear that. So, there are some people, they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard. So when everybody is saying yes, they will now say yes, and put you underneath. That's not you. That means you're not confident. You must be confident. You lift your hand up. Any question, your hand is up. Because even as they were talking, you were writing some areas you like to confirm. You lift your hand. Yes, I just want to thank you very much for that conversation. Thank you. Please, when you are making this comment and question, don't go about wasting time. Let me quickly say that. I've seen people in a bid to make impression, in a bid to ask questions, they will now go rambling. Yes, I want to thank you for everything you said. In fact, what you said in slide 2, in fact, what you said, by that time, people are already grumbling. They are like checking to say, Kilo, or more, ask question or get out. It's question. So when it's question, go straight to the question. 1 second of saying, thank you very much. That was very useful. That was very insightful. So my question is, your point around 1, 2, 3. If you think about the environment, the social, whatever impact, how do you think that whatever? Oh, I just wanted you to confirm that a bit more. You've in 2 minutes, in 1 minute, you don't talk what you want to talk, you don't sit down. Every answer that they give, you have made your, and most times in those fora, you introduce yourself, isn't it? My name is Hannah Oyebanjo, and I just want to thank you so much, sir, for that conversation. That was really, really great. My question is, go straight to the question. Don't be that kind of people. People are now moving their legs to say, oh, yeah, Barry now. Ask the question. No, you are telling me story. Ask the, you know what I'm talking about? When you do that, you design yourself. They will know you for negative thing. That's not smart. Don't be that person, okay? All right. Now, so I was saying that even God asks questions. God, the creator, that has the answer. That's why I said sometimes you may know the answer, but in certain instances, you can know the answer and still ask the question. Sometimes you know the answer, you're asking the question to know if they know the right answer. Okay? So God himself looked at man and said, you guys are naked. Who told you are naked? Didn't God know they were naked? Didn't God know what they did? Didn't God see it? Yet he asked the question, why do you think that happened? It's an example to us to say, as leaders, or as followers, we must learn to ask questions, give people the opportunity to also express themselves. I'm really going different directions today. Yeah. Maybe you are the leader of the team. Don't assume because Jumoke has come to tell you something about Nifemi, and there you go as a leader. Ask questions. Encourage them to run an open office where you are saying, okay, Jumoke, I'm going to call Nifemi in now. Let's trash this. Okay. Because grapevine doesn't have a place here. We know they do plip underneath. Let's say it. We're running an open office so that we know where we stand and all. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so you need to learn to ask questions. Okay, you can increase your wealth by asking questions. Your money, what you're currently earning now. To be honest, the skill of asking questions is a sales skill. When we do selling classes, when I teach on selling and all, there is a curriculum big time on asking, because asking questions also helps you in learning, in listening. As you ask, you have to listen. What's the response they're giving you? How does it match with the expectation or with what you wanted to try to clarify? And once you are able to do, it takes you further. It takes you a notch deeper in the conversation to closing your sales or whatever you want. Asking questions is a communication tool and it's very important. And I'm going to, in fact, when I talk about them, the benefits, I'm going to round up with that in the next few minutes, okay? But let me share an example with you. What happened to me recently when it comes to asking questions? I went into a store. It's a store you people know. I know we mentioned the name because they know pay, so I know we advertise them. Anyway, around GRA Ikeja, I wanted to get something. It's a sachet milk, but not the regular milk. It's called the coconut milk, okay? So I was going to get coconut milk, all right? And then, so, it's hot here. Let me increase the AC in the car. Right, so I then got into the store. It was early in the morning. So I went by the store where I think coconut milk should be. And I got in there. And as I got in there, I looked in the store. First person I met, the lady looks like one of those attendees, you know, the promoters on shelf. So I asked her, I said, good morning. She said, good morning. I'm like, please, do you work in here? What was I trying to do? Because she looks like one of those working in the shop. But she wasn't, obviously she was also a shopper like me that entered, but she looked like she was a young person, and I just thought, but look at my question first. I didn't go to her straight to ask where I can get my sachet coconut milk. What did I do? I first confirmed, clarified to know, because if I'm not a salesperson on the floor and you come and ask me, to some people it can be very annoying. I don't know if you've had the experience before. You go and meet with somebody on the shop floor where you are shopping, and you say, please, where can I get the person? And you ask him as though he's one of the salespeople there, and the person looks at you very angrily to say, do you think I'm a salesperson? Do you think I'm one of the promoters? So I've learned that over the years. So if I meet you in the store, even when you are wearing the branded material, I will ask you first to say, sorry, do you work in here? Can I ask you something? That is very important. It's very good to be, don't assume so you don't get people angry. Anyway, so I asked this lady, and the first lady said, no, I don't work in here. I'm saying, oh, okay, I apologize. Okay, thank you. And then I saw another lady. This one now was arranging things on the store. So I'm on the shelf. So I'm like, hello, you work in here? She said, yes. I said, please, where can I get the sachet coconut milk? Oh, she says it's around that side, the store where I just left, that aisle. Okay, I'm like, but I've checked, it's not there. Okay. She said, please check again. It's because she was on this side. Anyway, I went back there, I looked. I came back to her and I said, I can't find it. Right about then, another lady came that was walking past. Oh, this first lady then called the other lady and said, that is your area. Madam wants to get something around the area. So I walked to that one. That one followed me there. And we looked in that shelf, we did not get. And lady said, I'm sorry, I think we've run out of it. I'm like, okay. Meaning I've asked 3 people, but I was desperate that day. Something me just told me, why can you people not have this? Anyway, Thank you, Musu. Right, yes. So what did I do? So I bought the other things I needed. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When I got to the counter where I was paying, the checkout counter, I had put all the things on the shelf on for the lady to check me out. As she was checking me out, I asked again and said, "You mean people don't have coconut milk in sachet in this place?" Guess what? She gave me the information I needed in that day, because I wanted to have my cereal with that kind of milk that day. So I was desperate to say, I must get this thing now. Guess what she told me? She said, "Oh, if we don't have here, it will be in the village market." What? You know, most of these outlets, they now have what they call village market. Village market is usually an extension of what they do. You know, you have the main store, then you have the village market, maybe by outside and all. That was an information. My questioning skill has given me now an information. Guess what? So I said, thank you. I checked out here, paid here, and I dashed to the village store. As I entered the village store, in the village store, the way they were set, the first person I saw was the cashier, the checkout counter was the first person. And I looked at it and said, "Good morning, how are you? By the way, you have coconut milk here?" And the lady said, "We don't have." I'm like, wow, you don't have. Do you know what she said? We don't have. Obviously, there was another young man who was arranging the village store there, who overheard. And the guy just said, "We have now. Is it this one?" I said, "Which one?" He said, "Like this one." Just pointed where. There it was. Get what? Oh, it was there. My God, I just packed it. I'm like, there you go. Thank you. Okay. Do you see? So the persistence and the skill of asking questions finally brought me what I wanted, which means that many people would have missed what they want because they are not persistent, they are not asking, or asking the right person. What that also means is, it means that for the shop owners, they are losing some money because some people don't have the right information, right answers for the right question, for correct questions about the stores and what they have. Why didn't the first lady I met say, if you don't find it there, it will be at the village market? She probably doesn't know, or she didn't remember, or she just feels it's not her issue. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, when you want anything, there is nothing you want and questions can't get it there, depending on who you ask, how you ask, why you ask, when you ask. All of this. Just this morning, a mentee of mine asked me a very sensitive political career question. I won't tell you what it is because it's private. But it was what I had experienced. And because it's a confidential question, she asked to say this and this. Can I do this and this and that? And I told her, yes, you can do this. When it's this and that, do that and that. If she did, and she came back and said, thank you. I'm so sure on the strength of this counsel I gave her today, I am so sure that politically, in that organization, she will score some marks. I can tell you straight away. But if she didn't ask, she probably will never know. She will continue to do it the way she was doing, which was getting results, but maybe not as much as she should. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. Let me ramp you through quickly on what are the benefits of asking questions. Apologies, I wrote this down somewhere. What are the benefits of asking questions? Okay. All right. If you've not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. Remember to share it. All right. I wrote it. Number one, it will increase your knowledge, because what you don't know, you will know when you ask questions. Okay. Number two is it's an element of humility. There are places where you ask questions, people just look at you and say, wow, this lady is very humble, you know, right? It makes them know that you are not feeling that you know everything. So that's very important. Number three, it puts you at the spotlight. This one I've discussed very well, right? Positive light, spotlight, it stands you out. Like Maureen says, she asked at LBS, she asked questions. That's it, Maureen. So very important, okay? So it stands you out, right? It makes you become somewhat an icon. It makes people feel that and know that you are very interested in the conversation, okay? Number four, it increases your wisdom, because what you know differentiates you. Hi, equal. Oh, that's my special sister. Thanks for joining, my big sister. All right. It increases your wisdom. It broadens your social skills. When you ask questions, your social skills are broadened, because whoever you ask questions has taken note of you. And like I said the last time, once you ask questions after the meeting, you can walk to her. Oh, Mrs. Ikwo, it's nice meeting you, ma. And she already noted that you ask a question. She don't put your face and your name for her head so special. It just connects you deeper. Okay, very important. Okay. All right. That means it helps your networking skills. Okay. It helps to build trust. That's number 6. You know what it is to build trust? Build trust means I can confide in you, can confide in me. There are questions you ask people. It brings you into their inner caucus straight away. I don't know if I shared it here. No, I never shared it here. There's somebody who is a very high level, what do you call it? HNI, high network individual. And this person met me someday. I think I shared it. She met me someday there, and even though I was in that environment, she started sharing some very private, personal conversations with her mentee. And I was on ground. And she was just sharing everything. Guess what? She built trust with me immediately. It didn't take me time for me to also open up some sensitive areas of my life to her. And that just bonded us like fast. And it all has to come to what you say, how you say what you say, the kind of questions you ask people, all right? Number 7, it helps you uncover needs and wants. Of course, if you're a salesperson, you must understand what it is to ask questions, use open questions to unravel the needs of the customer, and use closed questions to conclude it and close the deal, okay? Number 8, it pushes your intention forward. Because if you have an idea, you're going somewhere. Now they ask the question, and they answer you, they push them towards where you want them to land. But if you don't ask the right question, you will not get there. But if you know how to ask questions, now you know where they go. You are taking them to where? To Ikeja. You are around Ojodu. You'll be pushing, question will push them to Agidingbi. Another question will push them to Oregun Junction. Another will take them to Allen Junction. Before you know it, they don't land Ikeja. They don't even know. But are using questions to direct the conversation and get them where you want to go. So it's a skill that is so powerful, okay? Right, it helps to push your intention forward. Number 9, it enhances your communication. Yes. Maybe I should get in here, husband and wives. You're not talking to yourself. The day your husband and wife, you start doing, you know what we call a shortwave communication. Yes, no. Have you eaten? Yes, no. Your food on the table. You are using WhatsApp to tell yourself. It just shows that while I don't dig ground, Mona solve them. Okay? And if you have issues in that area, talk to me. I have a friend that is very expert in that. Issues in communication with self-esteem. I will link you up with BC Bichao. That's her name, and she's going to help you. Right, number 10, yes, it shows you are inquisitive. Yes, you are not a passive individual. That's the positive. Once you ask questions, the person you are asking, they're feeling that this person must be inquisitive, wants to know. And once they think you are inquisitive, they will think you are innovative. Once they think you are innovative, they think you can run the business. It's just positive about you. And number 11, I say, it aids your meditation. Do you know that when you ask questions, it helps when you understand what it is to ask questions? I'm rounding up here. It aids your meditation. What do I mean? Let's assume you're studying the Bible, you're reading, and there's even places in Bible. It will say Selah, S-E-L-A-H. It means pause, think. And as you're thinking, you're asking questions. Holy Spirit, how do I go about that? Holy Spirit, what do you mean? Oh Lord, can you explain this scripture to me? Only you, they talk to yourself, but you are talking to the Spirit within you. And the Spirit is giving you clarity. It's from there. It has meditation when you ask questions. So you can even ask yourself questions. That's what I'm saying. There are times you sit down, you ask yourself, Equal, this thing you are doing, where is it leading you? We talked about reflection last week. At your reflective moment, these are times to ask, Hannah, where is this leading you? This Edwo we are running, where is it taking us? What's the vision we have? How many people do we want to come? Why do we want how many people to come? Why are we using Eco Hotels? By the way, I'm just telling you about program we're running. If you're an executive in the room, or you have your managing director or executive director and they're females, this one is a women's show. Apologies to the men in the house. And we're holding this program. It's Executive Diamonds Weekend Out. It's a one night out at Eco Hotel. It's on the 13th of October. Yes, I didn't know I'm getting there. Okay, the sales in me has come in here. All right, it's what it is. If you have questions, ask me privately. Thank you very much. Today, I'm rounding up by saying that we've discussed the power of asking questions. The strength in your asking right questions to the right people at the right times. You can't be a shy person to say, I cannot ask. If you don't ask, you never receive. Even God say, ask. Do you understand? You must learn to ask questions. Ask smart questions. Think about the questions ahead of time many times. See how you're going to frame the question. Don't feel bad about asking. Sometimes when you don't know whether it's a right question, I told you that sometimes I'll ask and say, I'm so sorry just to ask this question. I don't know. It seems like a stupid question. Once I say, this question I want to ask look like a stupid question, in the room I will hear people chorus out, there's no question that is stupid, no question that, in which case they've accepted me. I put it to the table as it is. But it just stands you out, okay? Please go ahead now. Ask questions. Ask them deliberately. Ask the right people. And grow as you ask questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for sharing as well. And thank you for following. All right. Do have a great Thursday. It's your lunch time. Do have a good lunch and let's have a good weekend. I'll see you again next week, Thursday, same time, 12:30 West African time. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. And thank you for joining me. Bye, bye.